each of the particular periods and we can get the solution. However, you can use inclusion exclusion in this in the way, let's consider some GCD. Let's consider the GCD is 12. So if the GCD is 12, we can factorize this 12 as 2 square into 3. Now, as I taught you about the inclusion exclusion principle previously, you can subtract the strings, all the strings, not just having period, only 2, maybe more. So let's consider, let GCD of A comma B be G. Let's factorize this G, and we are considering all subset of, all divisors of G. And let's consider any one divisor of G. Let it be 2, 3 or into 5. This will be the GCD. If you are considering 2, then that will be the number of times this particular string will repeat. So what I am trying to say is that if I have to have basically I'll have I'm constructing a part of the string which will have A by 2 A's and B by 2 B's, and I'll repeat this. If I know all, I construct all such strings, I'll just repeat the same pattern again. That will be the number of strings which have this period, or a lesser period obviously. So similarly, if I'm considering 6, then it will be A by 6, B by 6. And so the number of ways to do this is, there are total A plus B, that is n elements, and we are currently considering 2 or 3 or whatever as a factor upon that, because that particular string will be repeated that number of times. C A by current number which we have created. We do this summation for every divisor or every factor which has odd number of divisors. Will subtract that number, and every divisor which has even number of factors, we will add them. Before I tell the complete solution, I will be taking this Mobius function. So Mobius function is nothing but defined to be -1, 0 or 1. Consider prime factorization of any number. If that particular number is a square free number, I'll explain what square free is. Square free number is that none of the prime factors is repeated. Basically, if any prime factor occurs, that occurs with a power of 1. So they can be no number like p square into p1 square into p2. It has to be p1 into p2 into p3. So if it's a square free number and it has even number of prime factors, then the Mobius for that number is 1. If it has odd number, then it's -1, and if it's a square free, then it's not square free, then the Mobius is 0 for that number. So while solving this problem, we'll just calculate for each divisor the solution and multiply the Mobius function with that and do the summation to solve the problem. What part? Mobius function. So the Mobius function is defined to be 1 if the prime factorization has odd number of prime factors, such that there is no factor repeating in that. It's -1 if it's odd, and it's 0 if some prime factor repeats. Yeah, so these are few problems you can try out. Mutual inclusion exclusion is fairly extensive field. You will find a problem, a trivial problem, a very easy problem also, and a very, very hard problem using this concept. And it's often merged with other to calculate dearrangements for n numbers. F of n is equal to dearrangement. So I'll explain what the dearrangement is. So suppose there are n letters, and the envelopes are numbered 1 to n as well. So none of the letters should go in an envelope with the same number. There are n envelopes, there are n letters. Envelopes are numbered 1 to n. The letters are also numbered 1 to n. You have to give me a distribution of these letters. Each envelope will contain one letter, a bijection such that a letter envelope with number I will not have a letter I. I'll explain, since I've just covered inclusion exclusion, I'll tell the way to calculate the number of dearrangements using the inclusion exclusion principle. So suppose that there will consider the number of possibilities in which at least one letter will end up in the right envelope. How many possibilities are there? Can anyone tell? At least one of them should get the right envelope. That is the envelope number and the letter number is the same. N minus 1 factorial. You choose one of the elements. Total number of permutations are n factorial. Now choose, there are n letters. Choose any one letter. How many ways are there to do that? N ways. It will become again n minus. Might not be very intuitive or might sound a bit weird, but all of these three problems have the same solution. That same solution is the Catalan number. Could anyone would like to explain how will solve? How will he derive that? That's any of these three problems that the solution is the Catalan number.
I can explain that circle thing. Handshaking from inside.
Just come and explain if you want.
Now suppose like you have a circle, people are sitting in a circle, and
you are explaining some different problem, is it?
It's like similar to this one.
Okay.
Catalan number solution only.
Just state the problem first then.
Okay, it's like there are n people sitting around a circle. So what you have to do is calculate the number of ways people can shake hands without their hands crossing each other. Right? So assume they are sitting in a circle. So suppose this one wants to shake hand with this. So I guess this is not possible right now for this one. So you solve for the right part and solve for the left part also. As in you can take any two and suppose these two shake hands and these two can also do. The same goes for balanced parallel cases. As in it's like.
So how are you going to solve it? Any mathematical reduction or something?
I do a DP.
What
some relation?
Yeah, just can you write down the relation?
Okay. I write the code.
No, if you can write down the relation.
It's like for every I from 0 to n, where n is n minus 2, you solve for what do you say? The next one, as in you solve for n minus I and I, and the base condition is I equal to 0 or I equal to 2. Summation of f of I into n minus I, where m is n minus 2. If I equal to 0 or 2, then it's 1.
Write this recurrence.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah. So like quickly explain, I'll take the example of the number of rooted binary tree. So the problem is number of rooted binary trees. How many rooted binary trees are there with n vertices? So what key observation is, if we fix the root, then this tree structure will have few left, there will be a left subtree and there will be a right subtree, and we have n nodes, we have fixed the root, we are left with n minus 1 vertices. So we can partition this n minus vertices into these two groups. Like we can have 0, n minus 1, 1 and n minus 2, and so on. So if we know the number of rooted trees for all n less than, for all I less than n, we can simply use that. So if suppose this is of length I and this is of length n minus I minus 1. So the total is n minus 1. So I have distributed n minus 1 vertices so that I vertices are the part of the left subtree and n minus I minus 1, the remaining vertices, are the part of the right subtree. I calculate the number of subtrees possible with I vertices. I calculate the number of subtrees possible with n minus I minus 1 vertices, and the total number of trees which would be possible will be the multiplication of these two. Like you can consider any of the Fi solution at this point, any of the Fn minus I minus 1 solution on this side, that will give you another new unique solution. So ultimately the problem reduces into a recurrence. Fn is equal to summation of I equal to 0 to n, Fi into Fi n minus 1, Fn minus I minus 1. Similarly, the problem of balanced parenthesis can be reduced into this, because again in that you can select any two pairs, you can distribute it like you have distributed I vertices and n minus I minus 1, you can distribute I parenthesis and n minus I minus 1 parenthesis likewise. Similarly, the third problem, solution to the recurrence is Catalan number, that is 2n Cn upon n plus 1. The derivation is left for you as an exercise. It can be done using generating function. There are several other ways to prove this particular number. This particular number is a solution of many problems, like I've enumerated 3 of them here. The fourth one this guy was discussing. So at times in the competition you have to figure out if that particular recurrence is coming out to be a Catalan number. You just don't waste time and just use the Catalan number and just do the problem.
What is
The Catalan number is just a number, like it's 2n Cn upon n plus 1. So if you try to solve this recurrence, you will end up with this number. Like even NCR, you have a recurrence for an NCR. Likewise, for this number, you will the recurrence is f of summation of whatever I've just told. So probably this is the last problem I'll be discussing. This doesn't involve Catalan number, it's just a counting problem. So there is a circle with n sectors. Circle given with n sectors, it's like a pie chart. You can see that along the center. So let's number these sectors as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you are given k colors and you need to report the number of ways to color this particular pie chart such that no two adjacent sectors are of the same color. So see, this is a circle. It's like a pie chart. Do you know what a pie chart is? From the center you just draw these line segments. This divides the circle into sectors. So like 1 is 6 is adjacent to 1 and 5, like this. So you need to color these sectors with k colors such that no two adjacent sectors get the same color.
So finally you have to give out what are the possible ways in which we can...
The number of colorings of such that no two sectors get the same color, and there are total k colors and n sectors.
Position comma previous color.
Position comma previous color.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's like when you are assigning any color to one, just keep that in some variable or something, any variable. Suppose x maybe. Then when you reach the last node, that is 6, you just don't take that color, avoid that color. That's what I mean.
So I mean, how are you going to take care? I mean, this is